I come from a business family originally. My dad was an entrepreneur. He started a business in Venezuela. I'm the youngest of three kids. And when I was in graduate school, started observing the challenges that my father had working with my older brother. And that exposed me to, in a very personal way, to this topic. When I became an academic, that was the first 10 years of my career. That's what I did. I did research on family companies, and I pulled together a consortium of Yale alums, basically, that came from family companies, who were themselves interested in figuring these issues out. And they were extremely helpful in giving me access to their realities and also giving me the resources I needed to be able to do the research. But with time, I understood a number of very fundamental things that add to my passion about this topic. Number one is family companies are ubiquitous. They're everywhere. The small mom and pop stores, the medium layer of markets globally, and the top Fortune 500s of the world, many of which, 30% of which, are controlled by families. If these families don't play their cards right, if we fail to educate them, and if they fail to educate themselves, more importantly, their ability to continue, their ability to make effective decisions, their abilities to touch the lives of every family that works for them, and every family that buys their products or services, and every provider that helps them succeed gets compromised. So the impact of any given family not playing its cards right is huge. In many communities, the impact is actually quite dramatic and totally solvable. That is to say, if families invest in building their capacity, their ability to negotiate the challenges that come with being a business family really do get better. And therefore, also the impact that they have in the world gets better. The last reason why I'm very passionate about this topic is that, whenever you bring family and work together, you're dealing with two institutions that don't quite mesh. So you have to be constantly managing the contradictions and paradoxes that come with things like, how do you build nepotism with excellence? How do you think in the long term, but at the same time, be ruthlessly pragmatic about the short term and be able to be adaptive? How do you deal with a COVID crisis, for instance, and yet respond effectively without violating the family's values and commitment to its employees or to the communities within which they work? These are the kinds of dilemmas that family enterprises bring forth, and their leaders have to be wrestling with these dilemmas on a day-to-day basis. Now, the world we're passing on to our children and our grandchildren is a world full of dilemmas like this. You take any vector, the social justice issues, the climate issues, the issues of inequality, for example, just to mention a few. There is no way that humanity can wrestle with them without learning to live with compromises, without building the capacity to negotiate on opposing values that need resolution and yet need pragmatic answer and pragmatic responses to the challenges the world is offering us. Family enterprises are amazing laboratories to train that muscle, the capacity you need to wrestle with contradictions. And that's one of the reasons why I think they're a force for good in the world, because it builds that adaptability.